I'm Jeff with Precision Replacement Parts. Today, I'm going to show you how to install our complete vent window assemblies. Now, we made two versions, 73 to 80, 81 to 87 for the pickups, and all the way up to 91 for the Suburban and the K5 Blazer. One thing to note is there's two glass choices, clear and green tint, so make sure you pick the correct choice for your build. Also included is this kit that has all the hardware you need, bolts, screws, and a drill bit. We'll get into that a little bit more later in the video. One other thing to note, please don't open and close these before you get them secured in the truck. These are not meant to be open and closed unless they're secured in the truck, because you can cause them to be distorted a little bit. Let's get started. All right, we're going to do this install on our R&D door. We don't have the door panel, it's kind of beat up, but this is just used for testing these vents. One of many doors that we have. The first thing you're going to need to do is remove the belt lines, the glass runs, and then this bracket back here is held on by two bolts. What that does is allows you to move the glass back, giving you more access to get this vent out. Now, if you have any questions on that process, check out our video that we have just for that process. Before you start taking the vent out, I highly recommend that you tape off your door here and here if you have a nice paint job. Now, this is our R&D door, as I alluded to before. If it gets scratched, I'm not too worried about it. Next up, you'll have to take out the screw here, and then you might have one screw here or two, depending on the year that you have, and then the bolt down here. One other thing you might have to watch out for is some models have a bolt here for the mirror. You have to loosen it up. You don't have to take it out, just loosen it up. They'll allow you to get the vent out. So I already took out the screws and the bolts on this one. So the next thing you're going to have to do is kind of push down on the vent and pull back. As it comes loose here. Now, I got it loose. I'm going to pull it out and then turn it to get the L bracket out. So as I come up here, I'm going to turn it to the inside of the truck. Again, watching my paint. If you have nice paint, tape it off, watch it. By turning it, it allows me to get this L bracket out of the door. And then we can go ahead and put the new one in. We're ready for the install. So we're going to do it in the reverse of how we took it out, but one thing you're going to have to do is spray with some foaming glass cleaner. Now this will help it slide into the door better. And remember, these seals are tucked into these doors. When you get to this point, watch it right here so you don't scrape up your paint. Now, if for some reason your seal is not tucked in, you can take a weather strip installation tool, the round end. Make sure it's pushed all the way in here. And it looks like it is on the inside here. As noted before, this is a later door, so we only have one hole here on the A-pillar. If you have an earlier door, you're going to have a second hole right here. Also, our vent assemblies do not come pre-drilled. The reason for this is there's so much variance in these doors throughout the years that to ensure the best fit possible, you need to drill these holes yourself, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Next step is you're going to put this bolt in the hole at the bottom right here. If it doesn't quite line up like this isn't, you can take your screwdriver, kind of move it over. I'm going to go ahead and put it in, but I'm just going to kind of finger tighten it here. I went ahead and installed the glass run and put the window up. What this does is to make sure that the vent's in the correct position so there's no drag. And if you have any questions on how to put this back in, we have other videos on that. I'm going to go ahead and put the screw in the top hole here, which also comes in the kit. And what this does is make sure that the vent's in the proper location. Now I'm just going to snug this down. It doesn't have to be fully tight. We'll come back to that. Next up is tackling the holes. Now you have a couple different options here. This door is obviously on stand, so it's pretty easy for me to drill. Yours is going to be on a truck. You can kind of close the door a little bit, and then depending on the size of your drill, you can come from the outside and drill it. You can use a 90-degree drill and drill the hole. Or lastly, you can use a hole punch, punch the center of the hole, take the vent out, drill it, and then put the vent back in. And next up, you're going to take the cone washer and the screw, and you're going to put it in this case, one hole. If you have another hole, you're going to do it here as well. So I slid the cone washer onto the screw, lined it up. Go ahead and tighten this one down. You want it tight, don't over tighten it, but make it sure it's snug. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to this screw up here. Tighten it down, make sure it's nice and snug. Last thing we need to do is tighten up this bolt down here. We're going to go tighten it, get it tight, snug it up, don't over tighten it. And that's the last thing you need to do to secure your vent into your door.